Yo, how y'all doing, everybody? It's Bobby Lorenzo, your host, and we're back with another episode of AbillnTalks. And I got a special guest, man. Introduce yourself, man. Tell the world who you are.
I'm Denver Late, so yeah, I mean, I'm local artist, local legend, some would say, some people call me a myth, but here I am. So.
Hey, for sure, man. So Denver, tell the people, what do you do, man? So what is it that you love to do?
I love to make music, just any kind of music. I'm really dabbling into pop, but mostly hip hop. I love rap music, so been doing it for a long time, man. Been taking it serious for about 3 years. I would say about 3 years, but I've been rapping since I was 12.
Yeah, man. See, we love hip hop. We love music in general, man.
Oh yeah.
We definitely love music in general. I would say, don't never level yourself down to one genre, because music is music.
Oh, 100%, man. There's sometimes, I ain't a big country fan, but if I get a couple drinks in me, and we having a good time, I might get up there and sing some George Strait or something.
Ain't nothing wrong with that,
show
man.
them what's going on.
I really got an ex in Texas, man. So it's crazy that you say that, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you say that. So Denver, tell me, man. Well, I noticed on Apple Music, you had this one single that you just dropped back in June, man. Tell the people about it, man.
Talking about Antidote?
Antidote.
Yeah, Antidote was, so we did it as an experiment, really. At the time, I was going through, the song's about writer's block. Wrote it in the perspective of a love story, like a breakup. Okay. And, but it's really like me and music breaking up. It's just about, I need an antidote to fix this problem with me not being able to write. It was, it was it did okay numbers, but, we still locked in. We're trying to, correct ourselves. Sometimes you go through a rough patch and just don't know what to do. And I was just so hungry for making music, but didn't know exactly what to talk about. So I might as well just talk about, what's going on right now. Right. So.
Very authentic, man. Authentic music, man, is always going to last.
Oh, yeah.
And you definitely got to have that passion about it.
Oh, yeah.
So you dropped Antidote. Was there any other singles that you dropped this year?
Yeah, we dropped 2 other singles. We dropped On and On, which is a callback to one of the biggest, songs I've ever done, biggest record ever. Okay. Was Sun Up, but we did it in a different style. We used the same guitar pick, wrote it a different way, and it was the same vibe, but really if you actually listen, it's the same beat too. It's just a different bass line, different, snare and everything. So we wanted to do, it's kind of like a second part to Sun Up. Okay. Yeah, and then the other record that we dropped was My Stance, and My Stance was the biggest record that we dropped this year too. Right. So My Stance is just more, I got a good memory with making that song. That was right before, I went into my writer's block. I was, starting to edge into it where I was like, I don't know what to really talk about. Well, I needed a confidence boost. And one night, we were drinking a little bit and we were having a good time and had a couple homies in the studio just chilling. And then we just started rapping on beats. So this beat comes up, produced by my homie Sahara.
Shout out Sahara, man. Shout out Sahara.
Yeah. He's the GOAT. We were listening to some of his beats and that came up and I was like, oh, we got in this little groove. It's like, baby, you got me feeling like a man. And this shit really about to make a dance. Okay. Yeah, bro. We just kept doing that over and over again. And just finally we filled in all the lyrics. We just mumbling, just,
It's catching a vibe in the studio.
So I got to writing and then we recorded it all in the same night and finished all the engineering in the same night too. And put it out the next week and it did great. And I think that when it comes to making music, sometimes the best records are those spontaneous ones.
Unexpected ones. Just in the studio vibe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you mentioned the engineering, man. Who I was in the engineering? Was your friend engineering or anything?
No. Usually with My Stance, I had a couple of friends in there, drinking and just having a good time. But usually when I'm recording, I'm by myself. I do all the engineering by myself. I got a homie that I send to and get his opinion on things and stuff like that. But for the most part, I am there by myself. I also produce a lot of the records off of Stork. The last
album, Stork. Hold on, Stork. We're getting ahead of ourselves. What's Stork now?
Let's not talk about.
No. Tell the people about Stork.
Okay.
I know about Stork. I'm a music connoisseur, but tell the people about Stork. That was hot.
So Stork is probably the number one thing I am most proud of out of my entire career. Right. Stork is from back to back, all 12 songs. If you play from 1 to 12, you won't hear a bad song in there.
It's a vibe.
It is just, it was perfect. It's crazy because it feels like sometimes you listen to it, you're like, man, really the stars aligned on this. But really it's just hard work and just nitpicking. Being picky when it comes to your craft, that's a good thing. You get rid of all the things you don't like, and then maybe somebody else ain't going to catch it. But when I sit down and listen to that album, I can just, I'm still, like, it's been a year and a half, and I'm not tired of it. Like,
Yeah, I was playing it crazy in the pandemic, man.
oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Definitely playing store crazy in the pandemic.
That shit'll get you through
So
it.
tell me, I know as an artist and it's your project, I know it's going to be hard for you to decide, man. But tell me, your personal favorite song off of Stork.
Probably, I got a record on there called Too Faded. Yeah, Too Faded is probably my favorite because just the message, and it was another one of those things. It's just a good memory of making a song because, like, I was getting into singing and getting into focusing on vocals, more of like, you know, Jack Harlow type, the smoothness, the Post Malone, the singing, and just trying to take a couple of inspirations that I have and just make them into one. And Too Faded is a perfect example of that. Plus the message is just, it's just, you know, we ain't there yet, but in the meantime, we're going to have fun. So it's just talking about, let's just party while we're here. We don't have to have a reason to celebrate. Let's just enjoy the ride. So yeah, it's just a good vibe. It's just a happy time when you listen to that song.
Yo, that Post Malone reference, man, that's not a bad reference, man.
Oh, not at all, dude. I love Post.
He's killing the game.
Oh,
man.
Posty's different. He's a different breed.
I
Different breed.
definitely fuck with Post, man.
Oh yeah, Post is man. If I could be half of as creative as he is, you never know what you're gonna get when you click on one of his things.
You're gonna get everything though, man. And
It's crazy.
That's what I like about him and his albums, man. So speaking of other artists, can you name some artists that drove you to want to start making music?
So originally, when I started making music, it was more boom bap rap, like Slim Shady style. Maybe Logic, some J. Cole.
I fuck with Logic. I fuck with Slate. Well, I'm a music lover, man.
Oh, yeah.
I listen to everybody, every music, every genre.
It was more focused on, you know, just the lyricism instead of, you know, making some big instrumental music number.
Yeah. Some people play towards the radio. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I see what you're saying.
And I respect that too. If you're trying to make a hit, you're trying to make a hit. But really, my focus was trying to get better at writing, trying to show people, hey, I know how to work this pen. You know what I mean? Nobody can touch my pen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like, you gotta have that confidence too as a rapper, man. I like that.
That's what and I'll do it every once in a while too. Like if I put a couple singing records out, I want to put out something that's real rapidy rap, I guess you could say, to show them like, hey, like, don't forget who I am. Like,
I can do this too. I can do this too.
I'll pull it out on you. But no, I would say, yeah, a lot of J. Cole, a lot of Kendrick. When it comes to underground music, you know, Hobson.
Oh, I fuck with Hobson.
Yeah,
I've been fucking with him for a long time.
Yeah, Hobson's really what made me want to start making music. I saw his start making music. He started making music in 2008. And I remember I was probably.
He's been killing the game.
Oh yeah. And it was probably in like 2012 I discovered him. I was 12 years old and just scrolling through YouTube, looking at videos, and I saw this dude with the white contacts, and I was, you know, intrigued. Click, and this dude's just rapping his ass off, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I have to do that. And got practicing, was rapping in the backyard, uploading stuff to Facebook, and then eventually I started getting some equipment, like I got some cheap USB mics, and just started putting out mixtapes, and then here we are, you know.
Yeah, that's the grind, man. You said you was 12 years old in 2012, man?
I was 12 years old in 2012. I was born March 27th, 2000, so I'm 21.
Hey, shout out to the millennials, man. Shout out to the millennials.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Young boy.
Shout out to the millennials. I didn't know you was that young, bro. You know, you made me feel like an old head.
So you're 21? Yeah, I'm 21.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, you make us feel like definitely like an old head. Damn. Hey, we getting old, man. Shout out to Denver Lake.
Bro, I ain't gonna hold it against you.
So tell us, man, what's the new music that we can expect from Denver Lake, man?
So, you know, I feel like everybody's always excited for when, you know, you got something coming up next. I feel like every artist, you know, says, oh, this one's gonna be the best. Well, you know, I had a reason. Sometimes you make an album because you want to make an album, and then sometimes you make an album because you have to make an album. Right. You just got to get everything off your chest. So over just writer's block, you know, a lot has happened. You know, me and my girl, I went through breakup, you know, all that stuff. That's always a good topic to get into in music because it's everybody can relate to that.
Women, man, you can't live with them, but you can't live without them.
Man. Can't live without them, but You know, that's just how it goes. Going through that and just writer's block too will be spoken about on the album. You know, going through just, you know, seeing everybody my age, you know, it's a deep topic. It's just, you know, you see people my age, you know, they're not chasing a dream like mine. They've already, it's a lot easier to figure out a 9 to 5 than it is to figure out what I'm trying to do. So sometimes you compare yourself to other people and you think, hey, you know, they're ahead. Just like, you know, with social media, you look on social media, everybody's happy, but that's only because they only post the happy shit.
Right about that. Nobody posts the sad. You're definitely right.
They're really the same as you. You don't see it. You know what I mean? And comparing yourself to other people, it's not a good thing to do. And I've had to learn that. And it's just going through, just talking about, you know, accepting who you are, accepting what you want to do. And there's no time limit. You don't have a time limit. You can just do it. Just take your time, be patient, keep working, and stay hungry.
Hey, yo, for the kids watching, man, I'm telling you, Denver's over here spitting, man.
This ain't even AbillnTalks anymore. This is a TED Talk.
Hey, man, this is motivational. Look, Denver Late, rapper / motivational speaker, man.
Yeah, bro.
Bobby Lorenzo just stamped him, man.
I might.
That's a lot he said.
I might have to dabble into doing some speeches or some shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm involved with the community too. Now let me know. We do a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah,
here.
We'll get up on there.
We do a little bit of everything. So you mentioned, I think you mentioned writer's block like twice, man. As an artist, tell us the process of writer's block, man. Cause that shit has to be
Okay, so writer's block for me didn't mean that I couldn't write. It meant I wasn't writing what I wanted to write. Like I would go in wanting to say something, but so stuck on, you know, the quality or the rhyme schemes or the cadence and the flow that I'm not really getting the message out. And then if I did get something that was, you know, semi-good, I was so insecure about it not being what I wanted. When I go into the booth to spit or to sing, right, it's not coming out. You know what I mean? Like the pitch is off because you don't want to be going in. You want to go in with confidence with what you're saying. And it's hard to do that when you don't have the stars aligning the way you want it to. The sounds aren't the same. You know, it's just all that shit goes into writer's block for me. It didn't necessarily mean I just couldn't write. It was just that. But
you know, I always tell people, man. I've had this conversation with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Being like a lyrical rapper compared to just being like a radio artist, somebody who's just, I say a person who make like club bangers, like let's say like a Future. Yeah. It's way easier for them because they can go in there and just rap about and have no substance. But when it comes to somebody who's writing like what they're feeling and having passion behind it,
for me,
it's always like that, man.
Yeah, for me, it's two sides to one coin. You know, sometimes I want to get in the booth. I want to make something fun. I want to do something fun, like my stance. Like I said, that's a great memory for me. And I look back on that time when I feel like I can't write. I got to remember where was my confidence at when I made that song. You know what I mean? And I think that there's a place for everything. I think that, you know, when it comes to Young Thug, Future, all of those cats, you know, it's not that I don't think that it's so much as it's easier. I just think that it's just a different breed of music. It's more of like when you're trying to tell a story. Okay, so J. Cole would have a hard time making a Future record. Facts. Future would have a hard time making a Cole record. Facts. There's a difference in telling a story and making someone feel some type of way.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that, man. I like the way you put that. So tell me, is there a title or a due date for this next album?
So I got a title. I'm not gonna release it yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm probably gonna do some kind of post soon. But we're looking for next month, so December. Want to do it about mid. It may get pushed back to, you know, late December, but we definitely want to get it out before the end of the year. So we're pushing in the studio, trying to wrap things up and trying to get everything in line and get ready to drop this because it's gonna be a big number.
Hey man, you hear from Denver, man. In the winter, respect that, man. We'll be expecting that in the winter, man. We need some heat to flame us up.
Oh yeah. That cold season needs some flames to it, bro.
Man, what?
I'm telling you.
I tell y'all, the last time I seen Denver, last time me and C White seen Denver, like we did the YesSir Podcast.
Yeah.
And man, when I tell you, like we had a good time, like definitely had a good time. It was our first time meeting Denver, man. I seen him. I think I seen him on the internet, and I reached out to him, and I was like, "Hey, bro, you know, a favor for a favor, man." I was like, "You should interview me and C White My boy C White, man. Hey, shout out to Real Hits, man. Shout out to C White, man. He does he does everything, man.
Oh man,
just like
he's
Denver,
the best.
Just like Denver, man. Denver does everything. So tell us about your YesSir Podcast, man.
So right now we're on a bit of a break, and I know that people have noticed that because I've kind of had an absence in social media in general, just because of writer's block, going through what I've been going through in my personal life, trying to fix everything and try to get back to myself, and working on this album too. It's hard to do an album and have a podcast weekly when you're constantly trying to write. Any free time you get, you want to write or record. So I would say YesSir will probably return right after the album drops, maybe the week after. I'm going to try to do something in January with the podcast and go back to those weekly releases right after we get done with that album. But as of right now, I don't really I have some guests in mind, and I have some guests who are down on, but I don't have a specific schedule or a specific date yet. We're trying to get everything together and just make it right, and when the time's right, get back into that pocket. So.
Yeah, Denver rolled up in here, man. I pulled up in here, man. I see Denver. He got the management on the side over here, man.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Austin Crow, man. That's my new manager, dude. He is. We've been talking about it for a week. He's fresh, you know what I mean. It's been about like a week from now, or a week ago. We talked about him being a manager because he does have manager experience. So we talked about, him running the networking side and just working with some smaller artists or lining up podcasts for me because, I like to have a middleman, for the situation.
You definitely got to have a team, though. Anytime it comes to the music business, man, you got to have a team.
Yeah, and thus far I've been by myself, and I think that's also what makes things take a long time when you're trying to do them by yourself. You're trying to, I get so picky and nitpicky about things that I'm just like, I'll just do it myself. So... But I'm trying to learn that the team effort for sure.
Man, most definitely, man. Shout out to Austin, man. Definitely shout out to Austin. So Denver, give the people, where can they find your music? Give them your social media, your ads.
Okay, so everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, even Snapchat. I got a public Snapchat. Denver Late, just all together, no space, no underscore, just Denver Late. And then YouTube is Denver Late. SoundCloud, Denver Late, and then Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, all that, Denver Late. It's all Denver Late.
Yo, shout out to Denver, man. Denver, tell the people who you rocking with today, man.
I'm Denver Late, and I just linked with AbillnTalks. Yes, sir.